to the death. I see you. Brooklyn, I see you. Brooklyn, New York, I see you. Las Vegas, I see you. Cali, I see you. LBC, I see you. Vancouver, I see you. The D, I see you. The D, I see you, baby. Minnesota, I see you. San Jose, I see you. Let's get to it, baby. ALYORK Sports, baby. Yeah, I got to shout everybody out, man. You know how I does, man. 15 quickest minutes of sports. So much to do in so little time. So let's get it popping. 15 quickest minutes in sports. Let's get right to it, y'all. Matter of fact, shout out to the East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, Las Vegas, New York City, LES to the death, Triple H Entertainment, One Voice, D Beeman, Syndicate Radio, TV, my beloveds, the Dog Catcher, the Specialist, the Secret Weapon, and Credit Fix. Never too late to fix your credit. Hit me, IG me, email me at al.newyork@yahoo.com. Never too late to get your credit fixed. Let's go real quick. The NBA, Eastern Conference, that's the Western Conference right there. I have to say that 1 through 8 is solidified. What we don't know is 4 through 6, the positioning, which to me is overrated this year because there's really no home team. Everything's played at the bubble. They might make it look like a home game with, you know, like the stamps on the floor and then the fake crowd with your jerseys on. But at the end of the day, it's a neutral site. It's all a mind game. So to me, home field advantage doesn't mean anything through this bubble situation. Western Conference is really intriguing because you got 4 teams fighting for the last spot. And the Pelicans officially got bumped. Zion Williamson, no playoffs. You got the Suns, Spurs, Blazers, and Memphis. Memphis have a half-game lead for the last and final spot, which is the 8th spot. And also, I want to say that, you know, I was totally against the NBA restarting. I thought they had a beautiful season already, even without a championship winner. And I got to give major salute to Adam Silver and company for putting out this amazing product so late, creating the bubble. I don't want to jinx it. As of right now, it's flowing. I hope it continues through the playoffs, through the championship. And I have to admit, it's something that I said could backfire on them, and it still could. But at the way they're going right now, it looks like it's going to be an outstanding comeback season. So the NBA could really go through the roof because the regular season was great before the pandemic. And what Adam Silver and company did is remarkable. And salute to all of them. You know me. I holler at you when you fuck up. I got to give them props. Salute to the NBA. I'm loving it right now. And other news. I'm so happy for Carmelo Anthony getting his life together. I mentioned that on a post. You know, he's with the Portland Trailblazers, a team that can score, a real productive scoring team, and he fits right in as their 4th scorer. I know they got the big 3, but in Portland we're gonna call it the big 4. You got Melo averaging 15.4, 6.3 rebounds, 1.5 assists. And then you got the Blazers led by Damian Lillard, 29.3, 4.3, and 8.0. CJ McCollum, number 2, 22.4, 4.3, 4.4. And Jusuf Nurkic, who's their 3rd leading scorer at 18.8, 10.5, 4.8. Salute to Carmelo, acknowledging that he's not the dude no more. He got in great shape. So I got to salute Carmelo in multiple ways. And I am so happy for him because I was the first one to criticize him when he wasn't in the gym and he still thought that he was the main dude on the team. So it took a lot of sacrificing, a lot of hard work to get where he's at. And I just hope he can stay healthy and get another couple of seasons under his belt because he definitely deserves it coming out of Syracuse that we all had high expectations for. Salute to Carmelo Anthony. Now we go to college football. You could call it sad news. You could call it good news. Whatever your preference is. The Pac-10 voted unanimously Tuesday to postpone all sports, including football and basketball, until the end of the year. In a statement, the Pac-12 said conditions related to coronavirus, if it improves, they'll look to do something after the 2021 season. Now, all the conference are not thinking the same. This is the Pac-10, the Pac-12. You got the Pac-10 that's thinking of postponing. I think a lot of conferences are going to follow, but from my understanding, you're going to have some conference that are going to play games within and against each other, probably in a dome, which I'm totally against, because if you got a lot of other teams that postpone, then I think nobody should play. That's my opinion. They're trying to push a spring season, but you got a couple coaches that are against it, a couple of them that are for it. It all depends on the medicals, if they improve. If they could get something to slow down this coronavirus thing, then I can see a spring season happening. If not, that's not going to happen. They're going to lose out on a whole year. Now, Coach Franklin of Penn State, he made a good, he made a pretty good statement. He said, don't cancel or don't postpone. Look for every possibility, every angle of trying to come back. And I could agree with him to a degree. At the end of the day, it's about the kids, man. And not only that, the kids are not getting paid. So they don't need to be doing no extra shit, sacrificing themselves of getting sick so that you guys can make all the money. Because that's exactly what's going to happen. Now, you got some players that need this season to, to put their stakes higher for the NFL draft. So I feel bad for those individuals, but it's not all the individuals. You got some right now that are picked to go number 1, number 2, number 3, and they can only hurt their stock. You see what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm for what's best for the kids. And if it's what's best for the kids is to sit out, then I'm for that. Real talk. Let's go to other news. 8 minutes left, 15 quickest minutes. I'm going to go to this topic that I told y'all every week I post something. Like 2 players, match them up to the best of my ability. Now, I got 2 players here. I got Terrell Owens, Hall of Famer, played 15 years in the league, versus Julio Jones, who played 9 years in the league. I'm going to give y'all a quick breakdown, then I'm going to give y'all who I'd rather run with. Terrell Owens played 219 games, over 1,000 receptions, almost 16,000 yards receiving, and 153 touchdowns. He is a touchdown grabber, a touchdown maker. Hall of Famer, 6-time Pro Bowl. Now I'm going to go to Julio Jones. Julio Jones got 126 games played, almost 800 receptions, so he's only 300 receptions away with 6 years to catch up to Terrell, if he can last that long. Because who's to say he's going to last 15? You ask me, I think Julio maybe got 3 years max. 3 to 4 max, maybe 2 years at a high level. 12,000 yards, which that saves a lot for a guy who basically plays 6 years less than Terrell Owens. 57 touchdowns. That's his biggest knock. I had a young kid come up to me, or not come up to me, post on the post saying that Julio does not score enough touchdowns. And I understand where he's coming from. But I was telling him, when you're triple team down there, after you hit the red zone, it's kind of hard to score touchdowns. Julio demands at least a double and a lot of times a triple. And yes, that takes away from Julio, because in reality, he doesn't mind. If he could cause a triple team and really get open, or their tight end get open, or a guy coming out the backfield gets open, Julio Jones is fine with that. He's a team player, unlike Terrell Owens. But I'm going to give Owens the better touchdown mark because his ratio is way higher, and he's going to end up with a lot more touchdowns. Like I said, Julio gets triple team, but you know what? I'm going to use that as a knock against them so nobody thinks I'm trying to plead or I'm favoritism him, Julio Jones. Now, speed. Straight out speed after the catch. I say T.O. in his prime is faster than Julio Jones. Julio don't look like he be running fast, but he takes these long strides, and he can't get away from his defensive back. But T.O., one time on live television, I seen him burn Champ Bailey. Champ Bailey on a cut over the middle. I mean, Bailey could have grabbed this dude. T.O. smoked him. It was in Denver, Colorado, up in Mile High. And T.O. got the speed over Julio. Better teammate, I definitely got to go with Julio Jones. Julio Jones is by far a better teammate, as he's proven to draw the triple teams. He doesn't cry why he don't get the ball in, while he's in the end zone. If they score, Julio's fine with that. And that's what I love about Julio Jones. I'm not saying he don't bicker sometimes if he's open, but he's not going to make a big thing out of it like we all know T.O. would do if he didn't get the rock down the red zone. And last but not least, I got to go with hands. Julio Jones' hands is way better than Terrell Owens. And as a matter of fact, late in Terrell Owens' career, he was known for dropping a lot of passes. Julio's a guy, whatever he touches, he grabs. That's straight up and down. So right now, gun to my head, I'm going to start utilizing that a lot because a lot of people starting to take my stuff. So I'm going to start bringing up my old stuff again so y'all know where it came from. Gun to my head. Tough decision either way. Like I said, anything I post, there's never nothing easy. If I had to choose one, I got to go with Julio Jones. I mean, by the skin of my tooth. Mainly because he's more a team player in his hands. But T.O., for many years been doing it, many years been in top shape. I'm taking nothing away from T.O. T.O. is one of the greatest, as you see right now. But I think Julio, if he stays healthy like he's been, you're going to see him shatter all of T.O.'s records. On top of, got better hands and is a better teammate. So I got to go with Julio Jones on that. And last but not least, I created this topic, which is called my top 5 running backs, best 5-year period of their career. So this don't mean all the time. So when I need y'all to listen to it, because a lot of y'all, oh, but how Al's going to pick? Real simple. 5 years, they best 5 years. 5 years. My top 5. Now, they're not in order. So if y'all thinking it's in order, no. It's impossible for me to put them in order. But these are my top 5 overall. I got to go with Jim Brown of the Cleveland Browns. Jim Brown, for a 9-year season, 9 seasons he played, was one of the meanest, toughest son of a guns in the game. Could run the rock. Jim Brown was what you call a running back. Next up on his list, Barry Sanders out of Detroit Lions. I call him the squirrel because on the backfield, the way he hops back and forth reminds me of a squirrel. And not only that, he can take it home at any moment. Barry Sanders is one of the only backs in the game that you can hold him to 20 yards by halftime. And he'll end up close to 200 yards before the game is over. Why? Because he's a home run ready to happen. At any moment, Barry also have 3 rushes, minus 10, minus 18 yards, minus 12 yards. But I guarantee you before that game's over, he's going to the house a couple times. Number 3, Eric Dickerson. I love Eric Dickerson. He's actually my favorite all time. I love goggles. He runs high, got the prettiest run. He can get you that 1 yard. He proved in the playoff with the Rams and Robinson over my Cowboys, where he ran for 200 yards in 2 separate games. And E.D. Dickerson, I love me some E.D. I have to put E.D. on this list. He is one of my top 5 ever. Number 4 of all time, I got to go Earl Campbell. Earl Campbell is the most feisty. He's like the animal out the bunch. Not saying Jim Brown wasn't feisty, but Earl Campbell was on a whole other level. Earl Campbell, if you don't tackle him correctly, he can separate your shoulder. That's real talk. I love me Earl Campbell, Houston Oilers, number 34, and Eric Dickerson was with the Rams. And last but not least, I got to go with sweetness, Walter Payton. Wow. I mean, he could be top on the list. He could be the last one. Sweetness, can break tackles, stiff arm you to death, and got the prettiest high step, him and Deion Sanders, of the game. So there go your top 5. I wish I had more time. My 15 minutes is up. And I wish I had more time. And with that, tune in every Friday, open sessions. I try to get 3 callers every week. Brand new topics, right to the point. As gully as we can keep it. And y'all guys know, whoever calls me, you know when we have these interviews how I be. So you know I'm not lying. And with that, thank you for another episode of Quickest 15 Minutes. I'll see y'all Friday. God bless everyone. I got to prepare for work tonight, so I'm going to try to get some seeds right now. But like I said, God bless everyone. ALYORK Sports. I love y'all, man. And tune in to YouTube and subscribe. Push my shit if you could. Share my shit. Love y'all, man. Keep your heads up, man.